Good evening everybody and welcome to the Vojens Speedway Centre here in Denmark, where tonight the famous old track stages the World Championship final qualifying round. 16 riders chasing just 2 places here tonight for progression to next year's Grand Prix series. Plenty of pressure on the guys out here on the track. Who's going to be leading the field? Who knows? Popular Eastbourne England star David Norris has had a great year. He'll be looking for a place in next year's GP series. There's 4 poles here tonight. The home favourites include Kenneth Bjerre, Niels Christian Iversen, Hans Andersen. Be keen to put the World Cup memories out of his mind by going through tonight. And what about the Swedes here? Antonio Lindback, the flying young Paul Pirate, he'll be keen to make progress as well. The action, I'm sure, is going to be fast and furious out on this track. Ollie Olsen, Jakob Olsen here, in charge of the stadium and the track, have produced a superb racing service out there tonight. There's a big crowd, there's glorious weather, and we're going to bring you all the action as it unfolds. 23 heats of cut and thrust Grand Prix qualifying speedway coming up, and before it gets underway we'll have a wander around what I'm sure will be a tense pit area and chat to some of the guys who are gunning for glory here tonight. Well, joining us before tonight's event here is David Norris, the only Englishman here tonight. David, obviously it's every man for himself tonight. How do you feel about tonight's event?
Well, pretty good. You know, we've got all my team here, the boys are here. You know, no one had any practice in the end yesterday, so it might be a slight advantage, but to go and give it our best. Speedway is a bit of a funny old game, as you know, and yeah, I'm here now, we're in the final, and like I say, give me best shot and see what happens at the end of the day.
You're rightly here on merit. You've had a cracking season with the Eagles and with England, tremendous World Cup performance, etc. Chance for individual glory for you tonight, 5 rides away from next year's GP series.
Well, actually it's 7, so he's done his own work, hasn't he? I think it's 7. Is it 7, 5, 6, 7? Yeah. Yes, Stephen. So yeah, 7 rides. But yeah, like I say, we're not getting too like pumped up and high-fiving each other and all that sort of stuff, getting a bit keen. But you never know. I certainly don't go at my spur right to come last. So if it goes to plan, then we'll be all right.
What about the track out there, David? Is it one that you like, the Vojens track?
Vojens track's fantastic. It's a great shape. It's a real speedway track, but like they had loads of water on it yesterday, being rain, and this corner up here looks a bit gnarly, so it's going to be an interesting one. And I'm not too sure what it's going to do, if you want to know the honest truth. But you know, as we saw last year, Ollie Olsen does a good job of the track, so hopefully he'll get it sorted.
And if it all goes well for you tonight, David, chance to get the relative disappointment of the World Cup out your system?
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing, but the Swedes were a good team. It's as simple as that. Just, you know, whatever happened with the Hans Andersen situation is over. And to be fair, the Swedes were, you know, maybe on 1 point better than England. You know, so there's no bitterness there, and I've got a silver FI medal, so I'm well happy. Exactly.
Well, hopefully you'll get the gold tonight, David. So best of luck, mate, and we'll catch you later on.
Like the Murphys, I'm not bitter.
Well, former Eastbourne and Peterborough rider Stefan Andersen. Nice to see you here, Stefan. We don't obviously see you in the British League at the moment, but you're here tonight looking for individual glory. You feeling fit and well and confident about tonight?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I've had a few problems with my leg. I broke it really badly last year, and I still got a pin in. So, but usually it's going pretty good, and I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, I mean, does it affect your race fitness at all? Do you get any pain from it when you're actually riding?
Only when the track's really bad, you know. Otherwise, it's no problem at all. It's only when I come home after the meeting. But I haven't had a lot of problems with it. Only a few times when the tracks are bad. But hopefully, it'll be good tonight. So, how's your form been this year in the Swedish League? You've been happy with the way things have gone? Not really, to be honest. I've been only been doing Swedish League this year. Polish League, they was short of money in my club there, so it's only been Sweden, 1 meeting a week, and it's not enough, you know. So it's been a bit up and down, but the last couple of meetings has been going good. So I hope I have a good form for tonight. And what about this format tonight? Obviously, it's every man for himself. It's going to be quite fast and furious out there, isn't it? Yeah, it is, and I mean, with 2 semi-finals and a final with only 2 riders going through, it's going to be very crucial, I think. I mean, you don't have to have like 13 or 15 points to get into the semi-finals, so you can have one bad race maybe, and then when the semi-final comes, everyone is square again, so it's going to be very tough. And what are your thoughts on next year? If it does go well for you tonight, Stefan, and you do finish in that top 2, you're going to have to completely rejig your thinking? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, my ambitions the last couple of years hasn't been really to go into the Grand Prix. It's good meetings to have, you know, during the season, because it's tough meetings and you need the riding. But if I go into the Grand Prix, I mean, of course I'm going to give it a go, and I know it's very hard and you need to have a lot of equipment and sponsors, and for the minute I don't have that. But if I go into the Grand Prix, I'm going to give it a go, definitely.
Okay, Stefan, well, it's good to see you. Thanks for talking to us, and best of luck tonight.
Cheers.
Well, one rider who I'm sure is looking forward to doing well tonight to get in the Grand Prix series is Antonio Lindback. Firstly, Antonio, congratulations on the World Cup success with Sweden. That must have been a very good night for you all.
Yeah, that was a good night for me. That was a good night for the whole team, and didn't believe that when we come to the meeting. But everyone had a pretty good day, I think, and we all did a good job today. Had a good day, so it was a really good night for us.
I mean, it was a very tense finish with yourselves and Team Great Britain. Do you think before the meeting you were confident because yourself, Bjarne Pedersen and of course Tony Ricardson know the pool track so well?
Yeah, I don't know. We just was there, and the track didn't look the same like they had done on the other meetings I have there, but I knew nearly what I should have for setup and that, so I was pretty okay before the meeting.
Now, what about tonight then, Antonio? You've had a superb season with Paul in the Elite League, and obviously you're riding well in Sweden. I mean, it's a chance for individual glory tonight. I mean, if you can make that Grand Prix series, is that a big ambition?
If I can make it, that is wonderful, but that is only 2 who go to next year's GP, so they come to be so hard and so tough, and everybody here is a really good rider, so I come to do my best and see how far I can go and just have a good day and have a fun today.
All right, Antonio, well, they're warming up a bit now, so thanks for talking to us and good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Well, Denmark's Niels Christian Iversen joining us before tonight's meeting. Firstly, Niels, a quick reflection on last week's World Cup. You enjoy riding in that for Denmark?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a good meeting in the first in Eastbourne. Didn't really settle in at Pool. I think the track surprised us a little. Became very slick and didn't suit our boys. But overall, I'm pretty happy with third, because we wasn't better on the day, and I think we had a very good week.
But you enjoyed the experience overall of riding in a big event like that?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a very good week. We had a good week with all together with all the boys, and I think we had quite a fun week.
Now, you've been riding well for Oxford in the Elite League. Tonight, of course, you'll be hoping to carry on that form and confidence into this individual meeting, because there's a lot of pressure tonight, isn't there, to get into the Grand Prix next year?
Yeah, I mean, all the boys want to go through from this meeting, and I don't know, I haven't really done my best for Oxford this year, I don't think I have, but I feel more confident when I'm riding here in Scandinavia and in Europe than in Great Britain, but hopefully I can go to the semi-final and then the final, and then hopefully go through.
Do you feel a bit more pressure as it's in your home country?
No, I don't feel any pressure. I just think it's I know the track here pretty well, and hopefully that's for my advantage.
Okay, Niels, well, best of luck tonight, and thanks for talking to us.
Okay, thanks.
Well, Newport star Craig Watson here at the Vojens Grand Prix Final Challenge. I mean, it's going to be a cracking, tense meeting here tonight, but how do you feel about it personally?
I feel pretty good. I mean, I've got nothing to lose really, so I'm just going to give it my best shot and see what we can come up with. So we don't really, no major expectations today. So I'm pretty relaxed, calm and relaxed about the whole meet, and I'd like to do really well, and we just see what we come up with, really.
Having said that, Craig, I mean, your form has been superb this season. I mean, you're flying at the top of the Premier League averages, scoring big home and away. You won the Champions Chase at Kings Lynn the other week, so I mean, your confidence must be sky high at the moment.
Oh yeah. I feel I'm riding very good at the moment, and everything's going really well for me. So I want to keep on that roll, but it's really, really difficult today to qualify with only 2 people going through. So it's a full class field as usual, and so yeah, like I said, I'd like to finish in the top 8, to make it into the semis, and then once we get to the semis, we'll see what we can do from there.
Yeah, without wanting to run before you walk, I mean, if you were to make it, I mean, you'd have to completely rethink your planning next year, wouldn't you, with your whole setup if you did make the series?
Oh yeah, it'd be a totally different thing. I really haven't looked that far ahead, and I take each day as it comes. So you know, like if we did, yeah, we would have to start again basically. But you know, at the moment, as for today, yeah, I'm aiming to make the semis, and then when we get there, okay, we'll see what happens from there.
And finally, Craig, you understand you've got to shoot off because you're riding for Newport tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, it's league dedication, isn't it? You know, but yeah, I'm going to get back on the road and head off. But I got 4 fairly good drivers there, so hopefully they'll make me to the ferry and back to Newport in time.
Well, make sure Tim gets you a bonus, Craig. Thanks for talking to us tonight, mate. Best of luck.
Thanks very much, guys. Thank you.
Well, joining us now is Poland's Tomasz Chrzanowski. Firstly, can you ask Tomasz, there's 4 Polish riders here tonight, so there could be quite a bit of rivalry out on the track.
Jest tu 4 Polaków i jak to będzie na torze, czy będziecie sobie pomagać?
Są to zawody indywidualne i każdy pracuje na swój wynik, na swoje nazwisko. Myślę, że nie będzie żadnych układów.
There is 4 Polish riders here and all of them ride on their own, so it's individual racing, so everybody will want to make the best result.
How has Tomas's form been in Poland? Is he happy with the way he's been riding?
Actually, I don't.
Is Tomasz happy with the way he's been riding in the Polish league this year?
I don't understand you.
Riding in Poland. Riding in Poland, is Tomasz happy with his form in the Polish league this year?
Czy jesteś zadowolony z formy w polskiej lidze w tym roku?
Tak. Polska i Szwecja w miarę się rozkręca w Szwecji.
He thinks that it's in this season that was very good result also in Polish league and in Swedish league.
Now, what about this track at Vojens? Is it one that Tomasz likes?
Aha. Czy lubisz ten tor w Wojens?
Do tej pory jeździłem tutaj raz, finał Mistrzostw Świata Juniorów w 1999 roku. Dzisiaj będę miał kolejny raz okazję się zaprezentować. Jak będzie, zobaczymy. Czy będzie należał do moich ulubionych, czy nie.
In fact, it's his second time here, so he can't say anything more about this track, and he thinks it's good. But of course, it seems to be it could say it's good or not only after the race.
Okay, and finally, with people like Tomasz Golob, Hampel, Protasevich doing well in the Grand Prix series, is it important for Tomasz to make it into the Grand Prix for next year?
Czy sądzisz, że będziesz w stanie awansować do przyszłego Grand Prix? Golob jeździ w Grand Prix, Hampel jeździ w Grand Prix. Czy jesteś w stanie z nimi nawiązać walkę i awansować w ogóle? Czy jesteś w stanie jeździć tak jak oni i awansować w Grand Prix?
Po to tutaj przyjechałem i będę dzisiaj walczył, a na ile powalczę, to okaże się po zawodach.
He thinks that Tomasz Golob, Hampel, it's right like him, and he can ride like them, and he thinks that he can enjoy to the Grand Prix next year.
Okay, well, good luck to Tomasz, and thank you for talking to us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, one of the home favourites, shall we say, is Kenneth Bjerre riding here tonight. Firstly, Kenneth, I mean, speaking to Niels Christian Iversen earlier, I mean, another home rider. He doesn't think there's much pressure on him, but do you feel a bit of pressure as most of the fans here will be cheering for you?
I doesn't think about it really. It's a hard meeting, everybody knew that. But I think it will still be a little bit pressure, but it's not that much, I don't think.
That's obviously it's going to be a very hard, tough meeting tonight. Lots of hard first turns. I mean, you've got 7 rides here tonight. Well, hopefully you'll be hoping if you get in the last 2 and everything. I mean, it's going to be quite fast and furious out there.
It will be. It's everybody is going for it, and everybody can do it, I think. And just have to get the log in the first corner and be hard where you can be hard, and that's it.
Now, like all the top riders, you're busy all over Europe throughout the season. I mean, are you happy with the way your form's been going?
Yeah, this year been the best year for me so far. So I'm in a good form now. So just have to keep it for tonight.
You had a taste of the big time with the wild card you had at Copenhagen. You must have enjoyed that night. You did very well.
Yeah, that was good for me, and that's kept me a little bit higher up, and so it's just that what we need for being a little bit better. So just have to think about that all the time and keep going.
And if you make it through tonight, Kenneth, you're going to be even busier next year.
I hope so.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us. I know it's a bit of pressure tonight, so best of luck, Kenneth. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thanks.
Well, another rider who's got a big smile on his face is Sweden's Peter Karlsson. The reason, just a quick word, Peter, last week, Sweden retaining their World Cup. A memorable week and night for you.
Yeah, like you say, it was a good week of Speedway, I thought, from meeting one to the last meeting, and obviously winning it, doesn't make it worse.
What about your nerves in that last heat? I mean, obviously Scott Nicholls had to finish above you, but you managed to win the heat. I mean, it must have been sort of put you on the edge a bit.
No nerves at all.
Nice call, Karlsson.
Yeah, basically, it was surprisingly cool, and I just thought nothing to lose, really. Well, the cup, obviously, but could only do what I could and try my best, like every race.
Well, you did, and it worked, and now you find yourself here on an individual basis. You do deserve a bit of better luck, I should say, these challenge meetings, etc. I mean, hopefully it could go your way tonight.
Yeah, we have to race the meeting, don't we? Like you say, I have had very bad luck, a couple of years running, but hopefully a bit more lucky today.
And what about generally, Peter, with the season? I mean, obviously we don't see you in England now. I mean, are you missing riding over there?
Obviously the racing, yeah, but not the travelling. It's been pretty good this year. A bit less travelling and easier on the schedule. It was hard to start with in the beginning of the season. When there was not so many meetings around. But once we get going, it's all good.
Okay, PK. Well, finally, quick word about the track tonight. Obviously, it was memorable for you last year here in the World Cup, etc. It's one you obviously enjoy riding, Vojens.
Yeah, it normally provides for good speedway, and it's not all about the gate either. You can do some work from the behind, and pass some people if it's needed. So it's a good racetrack, yeah.
Okay, then. Thanks for your time, Peter, and best of luck tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Well, another one of the home favourites here tonight is Denmark's Ronnie Pedersen. Firstly, Ronnie, I mean, it's a lovely, glorious evening here in Vojens, so I guess you're looking forward to getting out there racing.
Yeah, it's a really nice weather today, so we can't complain about that. I think it'll be a very tough meeting tonight, and you really have to do it tonight, otherwise you'll get kicked out, But I'm looking forward to it, and we'll go out and do my very best, definitely.
It's obviously a track you know very well, but then lots of these other guys have been here as well. Do you think it'll give you any sort of advantage at all?
No, I don't really think that, because like you just said, most of the riders have been here many times before. So it's not a home track or a favorite track for me or for the Danish rider at all. And like the track are today, I think it'll be a bit rough out there because of all that rain we got yesterday. So I hope it will be very good, the track, but I'm afraid that it'll be like it was last year for the World Cup, because that was really heavy there.
Well, hopefully it'll show some good racing up tonight. Now, what about yourself, Ronnie? I mean, obviously last time we saw you was riding for Arena in the Elite League. You left there a few months ago. I mean, how have things been going for you?
They have not been I have not been doing very well this year. I have been struggling a lot, and I can't really say what the really problem are. I don't really know that, but yeah, I don't know what's happening. I just try to enjoy it, and I think that have been one of the problems. I haven't really enjoyed my racing, and if you don't do that, it's not easy to do it.
So what happens tonight then, Ronnie, if things go well for you and you do finish in the top two? What happens to Ronnie Pedersen's way of thinking then?
I think I have to do some other things if I end up as number 1 or 2. If that happen, and of course I will go out there and do my very best, but if that happen, I think I have to quit my work in Denmark and go for it next year in England and do everything 100%, because I haven't done that the last 2-3 years.
Well, okay then, Ronnie, that says it all. Well, hopefully you'll have a good night tonight. Thanks for talking to us, and best of luck indeed, Ronnie.
Thank you very much, no problem.
Well, Ronnie not really fancying his chances here this evening, but that man most certainly will be. Thomas Szanowski, together there with his lovely Polish girlfriend, and plenty of Poland fans who've made the journey to this fixture, of course, to see which 2 riders qualify for next year's Grand Prix Series. Plenty of Para Turner fans as well. They've got 4 riders in the event from the Swedish club. That is one of them, Damian Bielinski from Poland. Under the auspices, of course, of the Danish Motor Union here at Vojens, run by Ollie Olsen and his son Jakob, of course. And the glorious weather we've got here at the moment, sunshine as you can see, but yesterday where it was absolutely dreadful weather, the practice was rained off, and the track where it could be difficult conditions here this evening, as one or two of the riders have said to us. As we take a look at the 16 riders competing tonight, Ronnie Pedersen, he rides at number 1, brother of course of Nicky Pedersen, not fancying his chances too much it seems. David Norris at number 2, he most certainly will. It's been a fantastic year for David. Rode as a wild card in the British Grand Prix at Cardiff, and he wants more of that experience. Got to be in the top 2 here this evening. Number 3 it is Stefan Anderson. Ando, well, he hopes to be back in British Speedway perhaps even next year. He's had a couple of years out. He hopes to get a team spot somewhere for 2005. Hans Anderson at number 4. He rides for Ipswich this year, but he has been missing the last week ever since the World Team Cup final down at Poole last weekend. That's been well documented. At number 5 it is Thomas Shavnovsky. He's a Poole asset, although he hasn't ridden too much for them over the last year or so. At number 6 it is Marcin Rempauer, one of the 3 brothers, Yasav and Gregor's the other 2. Swedish, or rather Polish brothers, 3 of them, and a couple of Swedish riders, of whom one of these, he is one of them, Peter Coulson. He rides at number 7, of course, brother of Michael Max. PK, well, he's the hero for Sweden in the World Team Cup final. At number 8 it is Damian Belinsky of Poland. At number 9 it is Craig Watson. Watto, well, he's been feeling the effects of very bad flu over the last 24 hours. He could struggle here this evening, the only Australian in the lineup. At number 10 it is Kenneth Bier of Denmark. He hopes to do well in front of his home fans. At number 5 the only rider from the Czech Republic, that is Bohemil Brahel. He's very, very experienced indeed, of course. At number 12 it is Brasław Jagusz. He's from Poland, of course. At number 13 it is the Russian representative, that is Roman Pavashny. Word is that Roman may be coming to British Speedway in the not too distant future. At number 4, coming in to replace Sebastian Ulemek, it is Niklas Klingberg of Sweden. Fortunately, Sebastian out with a broken collarbone, second time he's done it this year. At number 15, another Dane, that is Niels Christian Iversen, and he's had a very good season indeed, his first year for Oxford in the Elite League in Britain. At number 16 is Antonio Lindback. What a year it's been for him. The youngster, one of the heroes for Sweden last week, of course, down at Poole. And well, that's what they're racing for here this evening. Great shot there of the trophy as we get ready for heat number 1 then of this 2004 World Championship Grand Final. And the lineup for this first race, we've got Ronnie Pedersen coming out off gate number 1. Gate number 2 sees David Norris. Gate number 3, it is Stefan Anderson. And from the outside, it is one of the pre-meeting favourites, that is Hans Anderson. So heat number 1, we've got 20 races, and then the top 8 go through to 2 semi-finals. Then it's the final, and those top 2 from that final will be competing in next year's Grand Prix Series. Heat 1 up, fly the tapes. And into that first field where Hans Anderson has made a brilliant start off gate number 4, and he's come across to lead the way. David Norris, well, he didn't get a good start, but he's come through into second place ahead of Ronnie Pedersen. Meanwhile, out in front is Hans Anderson that leads the way. At the back it is Stefan Anderson, but Hans it is who leads. So he's missed some Ipswich matches this week, having picked up a hand injury, but he did ride on Tuesday in Sweden, or he did have a bit of a crash in that meeting as well, but well, he looks pretty good here this evening. What a great start it is for them. He leads the way from David Norris in second place, giving chase. He's catching up a bit on Hans, but the Dane, well, it looks like he's going to take a victory here. Norris in pursuit. In third place it is Ronnie Pedersen ahead of Stefan Anderson. So it looks like the Danes are going to have something to cheer about in the very first race, as Anderson, he takes the victory from David Norris in second. Third spot, well, that goes to Ronnie Pedersen, just ahead of Stefan Anderson, but that was a fantastic start by Hans Anderson. He starts off with a victory here and 3 points. The Danish fans are delighted with that, and what a gate that was off gate 4. He came across the other 3 almost as if they were standing still. David Norris got through into second place ahead of Ronnie Pedersen. Handshakes between the 2, but there's the race winner in heat number 1, Hans Anderson of Denmark. And we'll say he'll be delighted. No problems with that hand injury, it seems, as he takes the 3 points as we move on to heat number 2 then. And the lineup for this one, well, we've got Thomas Janowski. He comes out off gate number 1. Off gate number 2, we've got Peter Karlsson, PK, one of the heroes. They fought Sweden last Saturday in the Speedway World Cup final. What a week that was in Great Britain. Off gate number 3, it is Marcin Rempauer, and from the outside we have Damian Beliński from Poland. So 3 Poles and a Swede in this one. Heat 2 gets underway. Mick Bates is the referee in charge here this evening from England. And we're out of the start, and well, it is a brilliant gate by Beliński. He's come around the outside to lead the way from Peter Karlsson in second spot. Janowski, he's in third. Here comes Peter Karlsson up the inside, and he's moved through in the first place ahead of Beliński, with Janowski in third place, and Marcin Rempauer, well, he's at the back, but it is Peter Karlsson who leads the 3 Polish riders here in heat number 2. PK, he's desperate to get back into the Grand Prix series. He's had several seasons in it, of course. He missed out last year, not riding in Britain either this year. He hopes to get a team spot in 2005, both in Britain and in the Grand Prix series, and he's getting off to a perfect start in heat number 2. He leads the way from Damian Beliński in second place. Janowski, he's back in third with Rempauer at the back. That's the way they're going to finish in heat number 2. Pretty close to each other at the end of the race, but it is Peter Karlsson who gets off to a winning start. This really was a good ride by him. Beliński, he just goes out too wide, and Karlsson, when he saw his opportunity to come through into first place, as PK, who wins that one off gate number 2. One of the pre-meeting favourites here this evening, and justifying that in his first race. As we move on to race number 3 then, and the lineup for this one, well, we've got Kenneth Pierre coming out of gate number 1, the diminutive Dane. There he is at the start line, rides course for Bellevue in the Sky Bed Elite League. Off gate number 2, it is for Himmel Brahel. He opted out of British Speedway about 3-4 years ago, long time with Kingston, also Oxford. It doesn't seem to have affected him too much, but he's still very, very effective indeed. And on the world stage, gate number 3, that sees Craig Watson, a big night for him, for Watto. Start Marshall, just trying to get the riders up the line from the outside. It is Raslav Jakuš as the race gets underway, and out of the start with Jakuš has made a brilliant gate off a 4. In fact, there's a tumble there as the rider in blue, well, he has come down. That's Bo Brahel, and so has Craig Watson. The 2 riders biting the dust. There is Watto, he's down the ground. Certainly not the sort of start he would have wanted. Let's take another look out of the gate, and you can see as they go into that first bend, well, it's the rider in yellow and black, that is Jakuš, who's made the start. He's clear of everything we can see there. Kenneth Pierre, well, he collects for Himmel Brahel, and Craig Watson, well, he also takes a bit of a tumble there in heat number 3. But both riders, well, Craig Watson, he's back to his feet, and Brahel, well, he seems to be okay. I think he's just taking a bit of time out, maybe give his mechanics a bit longer to sort his machinery out, but well, that's better, back to his feet, so he can just pick up a slight hand injury there. So the rerun of heat number 3 then, all 4 back, Mick Bates' decision. It really is a beautiful evening here in Vojens. Not many times we've said that when we've filmed here over the years. Rerun, heat number 3, it's away, and Kenneth Pierre is from the inside, but Jakuš again has come across just as and Anderson did in heat number 1. Gate number 4 certainly very productive early on, as Jakuš leads away from Kenneth Pierre in second place. Pierre making a move up the inside. In third spot it is Craig Watson. In fact, Pierre has come through into first place ahead of Jakuš in second. A good ride that by the Dane in heat number 3. First spot is Craig Watson with Bo Brahel. He's at the back. Not a good start by the Czech rider at all. Certainly is by the young Dano, who leads the way. having to find his way past the Polish rider, and it looks like he's going to take victory, looking very fast indeed here in heat number 3. Good start by the Danish riders as Pierre wins it from Jagusz, and that was very, very close for the third. And well, in fact, I think perhaps Brahel just got up right on the line to snatch it from Craig Watson. That was a close finish. As we've taken a look out of the start and into that first turn, you can see that Brahel and Anderson and Watson, they were having a good battle, but here comes Kenneth Pierre, and where he lifted as well at the same time and thrown it in the way past Jagusz. And he takes the victory in heat number 3. And again, the Danish fans, plenty for them to cheer about as we move on to heat number 4 then. And the lineup for this one, we've got another Dane involved in this one, Niels Christian Iversen. He comes out of gate number 1. Off gate number 2, it is Nicholas Klingberg in for Sebastian Ulemek. The unfortunate pole missing out. Off gate number 3, it is Antonio Lindback. What a season it's been for the Brazilian-born Swede. It has been quite a phenomenal season for him. He's gone from reserve to heat leader in the pool side. Pool, of course, top of the Elite League at the moment. Looks like they're going in Britain. The Sky Bet one. Looks like they're going to make it straight through to the playoff final. Got a World Cup winners medal, gold medal, hanging in his house from last week. Really has been a fantastic year for him. Still got plenty to aim for. And off gate number 4 is Roman Pavashny, the Russian. In fact, it is the Russian Roman Pavashny who does lead the way as they go down the back straight again. Gate number 4, well, that certainly is working very well early on. So the luck of the draw, of course, in some respects, as regards what gates you get and what how well it's working for you early on. But Pavashny looks like he's going to become the third rider off gate number 4 to win his opening race. He leads the way from Lindback in second place. Third spot is the rider in red, that is Niels Christian Iversen, with Niklaus Klingberg, the late replacement, or of course he's coming as a reserve. He is at the back in this one, but out in front it is Pavashny who leads the way. Lindback unable to really get close enough to mount a challenge. Third spot, Iversen is quite a distance behind, although saying that, well, now here comes Lindback, and he is closing greatly now as they're on the final lap. Pavashny, is he going to be able to hold off the young Swede? It looks like he's going to take the win indeed. He does. Second place goes to Lindback. Third spot, that goes to Iversen, with Klingberg in last place, but an excellent win there by Roman Pavashny in heat number 4. 3 times the race winner has come off gate 4 in the first round of rides. Roman taking that victory in fine style, holding off that young man, Antonio Lindback. Got Brian Anderson in his corner, of course, these days that's his mentor. Does his engines for him, as well as Morten Reisager of Denmark, the young Dane, Roman Pavashny. He's got to work quick on his bike. He's out again in the very next race. Nicholas Klingberg there together with Tony Olsen. Didn't go to plan for him in his first ride.
Joining us now after heat 4 is Leszno's Damian Belinsky from Poland. Were you happy with your second place, Damian, in your first ride?
Yeah, I think it's a good place, and I will fight on the next heat, and I think I will on the first 8 rider today, and maybe I will start in the big final today.
And the track, do you like the track tonight in Vojens?
Track is poor condition, and I think the track is the same for each rider.
Okay, well, 2 minutes now, Damien, so we better go. Thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you later.
Thank you, thanks. See you.
Good to hear there from Damien. And well, Mike Patrick, he gets everywhere, doesn't he? The Speedway star, ace photographer. He's out here with fellow photographer Dave Fairbrother. And Phil Rising, the editor, of course, of the Speedway Star, and also of the Pioneer, of course, and also Richard Clark, who'll be bringing the reports. He's the editor of the magazine as we get ready for heat number 5 then. And this one, where it sees at the second round start, we've got Roman Pavashny coming out off gate number 1. See what he can do off this gate off gate number 2, we've got Ronnie Pedersen, third first time out. Thomas Janowski, he's off gate number 3. From the outside is Craig Watson. Out of the start for Vajny, well, he's made another good gate. And he leads away, he's sending Janowski out a little bit wide. And here comes the rider in blue. There's Ronnie Pedersen on the inside. It's very tight indeed, but it is Vajny who leads away. He could be starting off with 2 wins out of 2. Craig Watson, well, he's struggling. I don't think he's over the effects of that flu that he has been suffering with over the last 24 hours. He's laid up, say, for all of yesterday, but it could have a big effect on him. He's struggling badly at the back here. He's a much better rider than he's looking on track at the moment. Roman Vajny, well, he's had his moments over the years, and he certainly is here in the early rounds of the early heats of this 2004 World Championship Grand Final. Now he's looking set there for a semi-final place at the very least at the moment, and about 8 points should get you through to the semis. 9 definitely, but well, Vajny, he's at 2/3 of the way there already. 2 rides, 2 wins. Excellent start for the former Russian champion. And we can see again, out of the start, he made a good gate from the inside. He was challenged by Janowski on the outside, and Ronnie Pedersen stormed through up the inside, but couldn't quite get through into second place. And it was Vajny who went on to collect his 2nd win in a row. As we move on to heat number 6 then, and the lineup for this one, where we've got Niklaus Klingberg. He comes out off gate number 1, runner last in his first ride. It'll obviously be open to improve on that. Kenneth Pierre, he's off gate number 2. He started off very well with a victory in his first ride, race number 3. In white off gate number 3, it is David Norris. He had a pretty good start, 2nd place behind Hans Andersen in race number 1, so he'll be pretty pleased with that. And from the outside, it is Martin Rempauer, who we've not been too pleased with his last place in heat number 2, but he has got the advantage of gate number 4 this time around, see if he can make it pay as the race gets underway into that first turn. And well, in fact, Rempauer has made a pretty good start from the outside, but so has Niklaus Klingberg as they come down the back straight. It is Klingberg that leads the way. Kenneth Pierre has come through into 2nd spot with Rempauer. Well, he's only back in 3rd place at the moment. David Norris, he's at the back, and that is a bit of a surprise as they come round to complete that number 2. David Norris, we need to get up amongst the points, but it is Niklaus Klingberg that leads the way. Rempauer, well, now he's chasing hard after Kenneth Pierre. In fact, he's moved through into 2nd spot. Pierre, well, he made a right mess of that corner, and he's gone from 2nd to last place because David Norris has come through into 3rd spot. It is Klingberg that leads the way. Pierre, well, he's miles behind now. He's ridden an awful lap there as Klingberg, well, he leads the way. In fact, he got a bit of lift coming out of that 2nd bend, but he still leads the way from Rempauer in 2nd place. It's going to be a race to the line. In fact, Rempauer, did he get up right on the line? Well, what a race that was. Heat number 7. Heat number 6, sorry, certainly the race of the meeting so far. And well, Rempauer, I think he may have gone from last to 1st place. Let's take another look at that. Look at this, he made a good start off of gate 4. David Norris got in all sorts of problems, but it was Klingberg who came through into 1st place. Kenneth Pierre, well, he moved through into 2nd there, but then you can see a lap later and Pierre hits problems. Rempauer, where he goes from 3rd to 1st. You can see he moves through into 2nd place there as Kenneth Pierre, well, he just missed that corner completely. David Norris came through into 3rd, and then take another look off this final bend, and you can see here as Rempauer, and well, that's very, very tight indeed. And we're going to have to leave that to Mick Bates, the referee, to make the decision. And well, in fact, that decision has come through quickly, and it is Marcin Rempauer from Poland who wins heat number 6. A terrific ride by him in that one. Track conditions not ideal, but Rempauer, well, he certainly made it pay for him in that one. Terrific win for him. As we move on to heat number 7 then, and the lineup for this one, where we've got Bo Brahel coming out off gate number 1. He finished in 3rd place in his first ride off gate number 2. It is Niels Christian Eversen, so did he. Gate number 3, that sees Peter Colson. PK, he had a win in his first ride. And as we take a look at Christian Eversen, just getting his positioning. And from the outside, it is Stefan Andersen out in heat number 1, where he finished at the back. He'll be hoping to improve on that one in this heat. Peter Carlson, one of the favourites here this evening. As the riders settle at the start line then for heat number 7. Start Marshall, he's trying to get the riders up the line and not taking too much interest at the moment. There is Mick Bates, the referee, in charge here this evening. He's in charge, of course, at the World Team Cup final in Poole on Saturday. Another big meeting for him. Heat number 7 gets underway, and into that first turn, who's made the gate? Well, it's pretty close. Peter Coulson. In fact, he's missed out there. He's gone very badly indeed. He's gone to the back, and it is the rider in red who leads away. That is Rahim Brahel, who's held in first place. Peter Coulson, well, in fact, he's fallen on the first lap on the top turn, and that's not good news at all for him. He's trying to get off the track, and in fact he's managed to do so. Meanwhile, they're coming through. It is Everson who's come through into first place. Brahel is in second. Stefan Anderson, well, now he's making a move up the inside of Brahel, so plenty of passing in this World Championship Grand Final meeting here from Vojens this evening. It's now the rider in blue, Niels Christian Everson, who leads the way. Peter Coulson is checking out his machine, but his race is run. Plenty of grooves and patchy, the fifth patchy of the track here this evening. After all that rain they had yesterday, really was absolutely torrential for hours and hours. Luckily today has been very sunny indeed. Dried the track out sufficiently to get tonight's meeting on. But Peter Coulson, well, he'll be desperately disappointed with that. Last place for him, so he remains on 3 points. You see here is Everson, where he comes through into first place. Brahel drops into second, and Stefan Anderson, where he charges through up the inside of the Czech rider, and that relegates Brahel into third place. So he's only got a couple of points from his first two. He's struggling. As Everson, he moves on to 4, and we move on to heat number 8, which will complete the second round for the riders. The lineup for this one, we've got Hans Anderson coming out of gate number 1. He won his first outing. Gate number 2, that sees Damian Belinsky. He finished second in his first ride. In white, we got one of the poles, Vaslav Jagush, and from the outside is Antonio Limbach, who started with a second. The race is underway. Heat number 8 into that first turn. And well, in fact, it is the rider in red, that is Hans Anderson, who leads the way as they go down the back straight. He's out in front from Limbach in second place. In third spot, it is Belinsky with Jagush. Well, in fact, we've lost him, and well, in fact, he fell on the first lap there, on the first bend, but unfortunately we didn't quite catch that one. But Jagush, well, I think he's going to be excluded. Indeed, he has been. So the diminutive pole, he's out of the restart of heat number 8. So he's going to remain on a couple of points after his first 2 rides. So 3 riders only then for the rerun. Anderson, Belinsky and Limbach out of the start, and it looks like the Swede Limbach has made a brilliant gate. Indeed he has. He leads the way. Anderson has moved through into second place with Belinsky in third, but what a gate that was by Limbachers and Anderson. We've got a bit of lift there. You see the riders, they are having difficulties on the bends here. Very inconsistent track surface. Not a lot Ollie Olsen and his men could do about it, of course, with all the rain that they have had. Just thankful we've got tonight's meeting on, as Antonio Limbach, well, it looks like this is going to put him on 5 points. And just a point behind the leader, Roman Pavazny, after the second round. As Hans Anderson again, he gets some lift. He's in second place. This will put him on 5 points. Of course, that'll be the top 3 after 8 heats. Limbach, well, he had a dreadful start to the World Team Cup week for his country. Had all sorts of problems at Eastbourne. He scored a point in his first 2 or 3 rides, but then he got his act together and showed what a quality rider he was, especially in the final. And he's showing what quality rider he is here. He wins heat number 8 from Hans Anderson in second, and Belinsky, he finishes back in third, and together there with Brian Anderson Dane, of course, who very, very unlucky with injuries. Former British Grand Prix winner, 1997. He won that title. Had a very bad shoulder injury, really finished his career. There's the riders making changes to their machinery. There is Belinsky after that to third place rather, that puts him on 3. Craig Watson, Watto struggling badly, no points for him so far. Peter Coulson, no points in his last ride, so 3 points from his first 2. As the crowd basking in this sunshine high summer here in Denmark. A pretty good crowd has turned up to see this meeting, see which 2 riders will be going through. Of course, they're cutting down the riders next season. It's going from 24 down to 16, so that's a big chunk off. It's going to be a lot harder to get into the Grand Prix series. Only 2 places up for grabs here. This meeting, of course, replaced the Grand Prix Challenge. And I remember the first year of that, there was only 2 riders went through from the Czech Republic when it was at the Marketa Stadium in Prague. Lee Adams and the late Simon Wigg, I believe they were back then. As we move on to heat number 9, and the lineup for this one, we've got Martin Rempauer. He comes out off gate number 1, had an excellent win in his last ride, storming through from 3rd to 1st place. He's on 3 points so far. Gate number 2, that sees Antonio Lindback 2 on the trot. He's on 5 points, one of the early pace setters. Gate number 3, it is Martin Rempauer, gate number 3, it is Ronnie Pedersen, just a couple of points, 2/3 for him. And from the outside, Bogerhell, the same for him. Heat number 9 gets underway, and out of the start into that first turn. And when it is the rider in blue, that is Antonio Lindback, who's made a good start. He leads the way, it's very close for 3rd place, as Ronnie Pedersen, when he's trying to see off the rider in red, that is Rempauer, but Rempauer comes through for Himmelbrau. With better ride by him, he's in 2nd place, but an excellent one by the youngster, the 19-year-old Swede, born in Brazil, the Rocket from Rio as he's known down at Wimborne Road, who leads the way, Antonio Lindback. And it really has been fairy tale stuff for him. We first saw him at rerun videos, first filmed him in 2003 at Wimbledon in the Great Britain under-21 side against the Swedish under-21s. Really was a star in the making at Plough Lane that day. That certainly got the attention of a lot of the British promoters, and it was Mike Golding and Matt Ford who came in for him, signed him up as a full rider shortly thereafter, and he hasn't looked back since. He wins heat number 9. His semi-final places are practically guaranteed. Now he wins that one from Brahel, who moves on to 4. 3rd place goes to Rempauer. He's also on 4, and Ronnie Pedersen, I don't think he's going to get through. At the moment he's on he's on 2 points so far, but no stopping this youngster Antonio Lindback. As we move on to heat number 10 then, and the lineup for this one, we've got Vaslav Jagusz. He comes out. Vaslav, he's on gate number 1. Off gate number 2, it is Thomas Presnowski. He's scored, he scored 3 points so far. Gate number 3, that sees Niels Christian Evensen. He's on 4 after that win in his last ride. And David Norris, he comes out off gate number 4. He's on 3 points. He could do with a win here. He's got that favoured gate number 4. Let's see if it pays for him out of the start into that first bench. And well, it's pretty tight. In fact, well, David Norris, but he's come down there. And well, what is the referee going to decide? As he's taken a tumble, big moment for David Norris. Was there any contact? Let's take another look going into that first turn, and you can see here as David Norris, well, I think this may have been of his own accord. He may just have got a slight nudge there from Shanovsky. A bit difficult to see from that angle. In fact, the referee has given David the benefit of the doubt, and he has allowed him back in the rerun. I think he perhaps can count himself just a little bit fortunate there, as the riders are back at the start then. So David Norris, where he gets a reprieve. It didn't look there was too much contact between him and any other riders, but he gets another chance here. The rerun of heat number 10 gets underway, and this time he's made a much better start, and he's come across to lead the way from Jagusz in second place. They're lining up behind him in third place. It is Szynovsky. And Szynovsky, well, he's trying to come around the outside of his fellow pole, but Jagusz is holding him off at the moment. At the back it is Iversen, which is a bit of a surprise, having won his last ride. He finds himself in last position. I think he's going to get plenty of that in this meeting. Riders winning races and then finishing at third or fourth. And in fact, Iversen has come through into third place ahead of Szynovsky there, so that was a brave move by him as David Norris leads the way. But now here comes Szynovsky back on the inside of Iversen. It's all happening in heat number 10. David Norris was going to give him 3 points, which will move him on to 6, which will be very good place for him to be in after his first 3 rides. He leads the way, a little bit fortunate as we say, but he looks like he's going to take the victory. Jagusz, well, he's going to move on to 4 points with his second place, and third spot, well, that goes to Szynovsky. He had to work hard for that third place as well. He moves up on to 4 points with Iversen. Well, he remains on 4 following his last place. You can see he's in third, he's in last place here, but he gets the better of Thomas Szynovsky. But Szynovsky, well, he's a determined young man, and he comes back on the inside. An old battle just for the odd point there, and the pole it was who came through the English flag there, and David Norris, he takes the victory in that one. That moves him on to 6 points. A little bit fortunate as we say, but you've got to have some luck in this hard game of Speedway at times. As we move on to heat number 11, Damian Belinsky, he's in red off gate number 1, he's on 3 points so far. In blue off gate number 2 is Craig Watson, he's having a nightmare, no points from him. In white off gate number 3, Stefan Anderson scored a couple in his last ride, that's how many he's got so far. And in yellow and black it is Nicholas Klingberg, he also scored a second in his last outing. Craig Watson, well, he's really got to get some big points here in this one. He's going to have any chance to make the semis. The race is underway, and into that first turn, and it is Belinsky who's made the gate. He leads the way as they go down the back straight. Well, saying that, the rider in white, Stefan Anderson, he's come through into first place. But Anderson, he's gone out wide there, and Belinsky, can he take advantage? Yes, he can. Craig Watson's hit problems on that turn. I think he may have pulled out of this one, but it's the rider in red, that is Damian Belinsky, who leads the way. Stefan Anderson is in second. Klingberg is in third, and Craig Watson, he's struggling badly in this one, but Belinsky it is who leads the way. They can put him on 6 points, and give the Pirate Turner fans something to cheer about. So there's a bit of a group of them, and looks like Belinsky is going to score his first victory. A quick look behind, but no real danger. He's well in front of Stefan Anderson in second place, and Nicholas Klingberg back in third. That's the way they're going to finish. Craig Watson not finishing that heat, and well, I'll be surprised perhaps if he comes out anymore. He's due to ride at Newport tomorrow. He's got a long journey ahead of him, but he really is struggling here this evening. That's no points from his 3 rides. But Belinsky, well, that doubles his score to 6 points. With Stefan Anderson, well, he also doubles his. He moves on to 4. He's still got chances of making it through. Around about 8 points. Definitely 9 will guarantee you a place in the semis. As we move on to heat number 12, then of course it's complete the third round for these riders. In red we've got Roman Pavashny, the leader after the first couple of rounds. He's on 6 points so far. He comes out in red. In blue is Hans Andersen. He's on 5 so far. In white it is Kenneth Bier. He had a win in his first ride, but then looked absolutely dreadful last time out in heat number 6 when he finished a poor last. And in yellow and black it is Peter Coulson. PK, of course, he started with a win, but then he looked a bit out of control in his second ride, and he got as far as the third bend, and he's on 3 points, the same as Bier. High quality heat this one, race number 12. Who's going to take the victory as the race gets underway? And into that first corner where Peter Coulson has made a good start off gate number 4. And it could be on, although we've been swamped there because Hans Andersen has come around, and so's Roman Pavashny. That was a very tight first lap. Kenneth Bier, well, now he's trying to get the better of Coulson in the throw. Blanket over all 4 riders here. It is Hans Andersen, though, who's come out on top from Pavashny in second, and Bier has moved through in the third. Peter Coulson, who made the gate. Well, he's finished. He's at the back at the moment, and that's another major surprise. The pre-meeting favourite is in last place. Hans Andersen, another one of those favourites. He leads the way, and this could put him on 8 points provisionally. Well, he's coming under a lot of pressure from Kenneth Pierre. Every point absolutely vital, of course, as they try to qualify for next year's Grand Prix series. As provisionally, well, he gets a bit of lift, but he's still holding off Pierre at the moment. A better ride by the young Dane as Hans Andersen. Well, it looks like he's going to get his second win of the meeting. Provisionally, he's going to suffer his first defeat with Pierre back in third, and Peter Coulson. That's 2 non-scoring rides in a row for him. He's got to be worried. Just 3 points. Let's see what happens. You see, he made a brilliant start off gate number 4. He came across, but then loses it as Roman Provisionally and Andersen comes through into first and second. Andersen, where he gets the better of the Russian, and Peter Coulson, where he even loses third spot as Kenneth Pierre finds a way through on the inside. And well, that's not good news at all for the Swedes. Certainly plenty of good news for the Danes though, as Hans Andersen, a la Jason Crump, he celebrates in heat number 12. So he's the joint top scorer now with Provisionally and Lindback. Those three starting to pull ahead of the field. Belinsky and David Norris were there on 6 points apiece, so they're still with a very good chance of making the semis. There is one of the co-leaders at the interval stage, Roman Provisionally. So word is that he's coming back to British Speedway quite quickly. Peter Coulson, disastrous 2 rides for him. Antonio Lindback just taking things very calmly with his mentor Brian Anderson. Niels Christensen, well, there he is, being interviewed by the cameraman. Talking of interviews, let's join Glenn.
Well, Stefan Andersen, you got 4 points on the board so far. Things not quite going your way, but you're trying to stick in there, aren't you?
Yeah, I've had a gate 3 twice, and I think that's the worst gate. So hopefully I can get quite a good start from the insides. And the track is quite tricky out there. You know, it's ruts everywhere. It's really soft, so you have to be aware all the time. But hopefully have a couple of good starts and be in there.
It does look a bit difficult. Some of the guys are struggling on some of those ruts. I mean, is it not riding as you thought it would?
Yeah, when we walked the track earlier, you can see it. I mean, I don't think they've done the best job with the track. It's been really nice day, and they haven't been out on the track much, and it was really soft on the inside, so it's not very good.
So you're going to try and go for a couple of big wins now then, Stefan?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, keep going, mate. Talk to you later.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, Niels, after 12 races, you've had 1 or 2 up and down races out there tonight. How have you seen how it's gone for you?
No, you have to make the good starts up there. The track is not very good, big ruts, and you have to make it from the gate because it's hard to pass. There's not many lines, but all the boys are making big mistakes out there when they're riding. But it's just I changed my bike now, see if it's better from the gate, and then we'll see what's happening.
Well, you have shown that you can win there. You've had a good race win tonight, so do you think your other bike will be better suited to the track tonight then?
I don't know, it's a new engine. I only rode it 2 meetings before, but I mean, hopefully it's better from the gate because the bike I ride now slow from the start. So.
Okay, Niels, well, keep trying your best and we'll see you later on.
Okay, thanks.
Well, there are 3 riders on 8 points. Antonio Lindback, you're one of them, so I guess you're pleased how it's going so far.
Yeah, that's my engines and my bike's going really well today, and the whole team working really good. So the track is a little rough to go on, it's very bumpy and really hard to go. But I come to do my best to see how far I can go. I have 2 more races to go on, so.
Yeah, a lot of the riders are saying it's difficult, but I mean, you're racing quite hard out there, and it's important to make starts, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very important to make start today, just for the track is so hard to go on. Especially if you're coming behind and try to do different lines, and if you go out in the track, you're totally lost. But I think the start is really important today.
Do you think you found the best line around there now?
The best line, I don't know, but the line fit me pretty good, so I'm pretty pleased about that.
Well, as you say, 2 races left, and you're in a good position now, Antonio, so it's getting a bit nervous now.
I have been nervous all day, but I feel like I can focus about what I'm coming here to do, and I think I've handled that pretty good, so I come to going like I have started.
Well, good luck, Antonio. Thanks for talking to us.
No problem.
Well, good to hear from Antonio and the other riders then, as well some of the Polish fans enjoying themselves, taking advantage of the Danish beer, I think, before we get ready for heat number 13. Certainly it's thirsty work throwing that flag around, and well, in actual fact there's been a bit of a problem. We understand that the main fuse has blown just outside of the stadium. Mike Patrick can see he's getting some shots there. Antonio Lindback has laid back as always, but a main fuse has gone. They're trying to sort things out, but we're going to run heat number 13 without the floodlights. It's getting towards dusk now, but well, we are going to continue. Nick Bates has decided to carry on with the meeting. Heat number 13, looking a little bit on the darker side, but well, the riders are coming out for this one. Heat 13, then we start the fourth round of rides. We've got Peter Coulson in red. He needs something big to happen here. Jagusz is in blue, in green is Klingberg, and in yellow and black is Ronnie Pedersen out of the start. And well, Pedersen has made a pretty good gate, but so has Peter Coulson. He certainly needs to. He leads the way from Ronnie Pedersen coming through into second place, although he's gone out a little bit wide there. And Václav Jagusz has come through in the second place, and Klingberg, well, he's trying to get through in the third ahead of Pedersen. It's pretty tight. In fact, Jagusz, well, he's pulled out with machinery problems, so his chances of qualification have probably disappeared now. He's on 4 points with just one race to go. I think that's going to be good enough. Peter Coulson, meanwhile, looks like he's going to move on to sixth. The good battle for second place here. Klingberg, well, he's got the better of Ronnie Pedersen now as they come around to start the final lap. Peter Coulson, in fact, Jagusz, well, he's got going again, as you can see. His bike will temporarily stop, but he's managed to continue, but he's not amongst the point scorers here. Peter Coulson most definitely is. He's going to move on to 6 points with a victory in heat number 13. Second place goes to Klingberg after a race-long battle with Ronnie Pedersen, who finishes third. The unfortunate Jagusz, he finishes at the back, PK. Well, that moves him on to 6 points, and that puts him back on track for a semi-final spot. He needs at least a couple of points in his final ride to make sure, but that was better by him as we move on to heat number 14. They're continuing with the meeting, but it's getting darker by the minute. The lineup for this one, we can see there, they say the floodlights are still not on, and it is getting a little bit bad. You can see just how bright the light there is shining. The lineup for this one, David Norris in red, in blue it is Roman Pavashny, in white we've got Damian Belinsky. Emil Brahel comes out in yellow and black, where it's got to be bordering on a little bit dangerous for these riders to be out there as the race gets underway. And well, it is Belinsky who's made a good start. David Norris, well, he's in the thick of the action. In fact, he's got a bit of lift there, and well, he's come down, and well, he's brought Bo Brahel down as well. Roman Pavashny managed to avoid him, and well, Brahel, I don't think he's too unhappy with David Norris. I think it's more the track conditions, and well, the frustration there from Brahel. David Norris, he's still down on the track. That's not good news. Let's hope that he can get up. Well, is it too dangerous to be riding here? Say our cameras, they do pick up the light a bit better than it actually is out on the track. And we can see again here as it was Belinsky who made a good start. Brahel coming around the outside, and David Norris, he does get some lift there. But well, I wonder how well he could see what was going on in that race, and where you can see there the red exclusion light on, and David is absolutely furious with Mick Bates, the referee, as he's handed back his goggles, and he's absolutely disgusted with that high drama here in heat number 14. And well, he's going to go over obviously to remonstrate with the referee. And with Neil Middleditch, unfortunately he's not here this evening, which is not really the best situations for David, the only British representative. He's at Bo Brahel having a few words with David and Colt. They're looking up at the, and well, he's pointing out they can't see anything. So well, that really is quite dramatic. And well, very unfortunate. There is Mick Bates, and well, he's not going to change his mind, I doubt very much. But this could scupper David's chances of making it through to Grand Prix Series. Bo Brahel, well, he's also remonstrating with the referee, saying he just cannot see. This is a bad situation for David Norris. He has been excluded. He remains on 6 points, having a few words there with Dave Fairbrother. Neville Tatum, well, he's part of Team David Norris. No Neil Middleditch to be in David's corner. Hey, Jakob Olsen, the Danish team manager here, so is Tony Olsen, the Swedish one. You thought perhaps Neil should have been here to help in situations such as this. No lights, there is no lights, David, and he cannot see. He's absolutely disgusted with that decision, but that really is very, very unfortunate for the British rider. And well, Mick Bates, it's his decision, but it's certainly a contentious one. David disgusted with that. He's going to lead at least a second place in his final ride. And well, I think he's saying he just could not see the reflection. Ronnie Pedersen, well, of course they do have the tear-offs and the goggles as well. It does make it very difficult to see. At the best time, you've got several layers to go to look through, but well, the lights are not there either. Let's join Neville Tatum.
Before we have the rerun of Heat 14, we understand there may be up to an hour's break. David Norris is a bit tied up and concentrating on what he's doing. So Neville Tatum, his engine tuner, mechanic, manager if you like, is going to speak on his behalf. Firstly, Neville, just talk us through the events that have just happened.
Well, obviously we're very concerned about the delay, and obviously the light was fading, and like questions were raised, not to the official referee, I have to say, but when the incident that happened in Heat 14, whereby now David Norris has been excluded, the referee has now stopped the meeting because of the lack of light. I've spoken to the referee, and he has spoken to the jury president saying, is there any way that Heat 14 could be run including David Norris? At the moment, they're saying that there is no way they can rerun Heat 14. I don't have the rule book with me right here and now, and I'm sure that they're going to be looking at it right harder now, because obviously with this type of meeting, there's GP places at stake, and this is a major event, and this type of situation, to be perfectly honest, it's difficult to take, when you're the victim as such.
Which David clearly is here. As you say, it's a very important meeting. There's a lot at stake. Unfortunately, decisions like this rarely get turned over, do they?
No, you have to say what the whole situation is that he's been excluded from the race. Right. At the end of the day, the checkered flag wasn't given for the race. The referee made a decision on the spur of the moment. Our point could be, or maybe, I don't know, it would have to be looking into if the situation becomes possible to deal with, if David doesn't qualify because of the situation. But we have to look at about if we can make a protest concerning this decision. I mean, I don't know, and I'm not in any way, shape or form saying here now we are making a protest, because I don't know. But what I needed to have from clarification from the referee, why was the meeting being stopped? He has confirmed due to the lack of light.
We'll watch this space. Thanks for clarifying that for us, Neville.
Thank you.
Well, Neville, good of him to speak to us, and now he's having a few words with Wolfgang Glass from Germany, the FIM jury president here this evening. Mick Bates, well, he's not coming down to talk with David. And well, it's a difficult decision.
Whether somebody was excluded or not, the referee stopped the meeting. I won't never discuss this decision. It was a referee and he decided this situation. But David lost the control of the bike. And this was the
well, I don't think it's going to be overturned, David.
This means disqualification. There's no another decision.
Highly unsatisfactory. Indeed, it must be said, it's such a massive meeting for all these riders. David Norris, who's had such a brilliant year. He's desperate to make it through the Grand Prix Series, having a taste of it at the Millennium Stadium in front of 40,000 people. And where if it stops his chances of getting through to the semi-finals where anything can happen, of course, it really would be something of an injustice. So we're going with the rerun. The lights, well, they've been back on. We've had about a 45-minute delay, all told, but the lights are on, as you can see, and the race, well, it is starting again without David Norris. In fact, there's problems, because Roman Pavashny and Bo Brahel, well, they've come together, and the race has had to be stopped again. And well, Pavashny, he's on 8 points so far. Let's take another look at this one out of the start, and you can see that it was the rider in blue, Roman Pavashny. Bo Brahel trying to come around the outside, but he comes down. Pavashny, well, he's also taken a tumble. He's further up the track, as you can see. Damian Belinsky, well, he managed to miss the two riders that have fallen. Take another look here as Brahel tries to lean on Belinsky and come around the outside. Pavashny, well, I say, it's very difficult racing conditions of the track, and well, he definitely gets out of control there, as you can see. and well, he brings down Bo Brahel for the second time in this race. Behemel is the innocent victim, and well, another exclusion light on, this time for the Russian. I don't think he can be too upset about that. Really is of his own making. So track conditions are difficult though, it must be said. So we're going with the second rerun of heat number 14, and then there were two, Bo Brahel and Damien Belinsky in white, but Brahel it is off gate number 4. This time he's made a much better start, and he's leads Belinsky as they come down the back straight for the first time, but Brahel it is who's out in first place. Belinsky were these two riders. Damien Belinsky so far, he is on 6 points after he's winning his last ride, so he's put him on 8. He's going to have a great chance of going, well, he should be through the semi-finals at least, as Brahel, but he think he needs the points a little bit more. He's on 4 points so far. Let's put him on 7. That will also give him a good chance if he can get something out of his final race, which is heat number 20. A look over, but no real danger from the pole. He's about 3-4 bike lengths in front of them, so highly controversial. Heat number 14, it's drawing to an end there on the final lap. So you really must feel for David Norris. The light conditions were certainly far from ideal when they came out for heat number 14. As it said, they wouldn't have got much further. They couldn't have raced many more heats, if any, after that one. So well, why did they start that race? Question's got to be asked. Heat number 14, the race winner, it goes to Bo Brahel of the Czech Republic. That's his first victory of the night, moves him on to 7 points. Belinsky, well, he's been very consistent, that moves him on to 8. David Norris, he remains on 6. Roman Pavashny, he remains on his 8 points, so he should be safe enough as we move on to heat number 15 then. And the lineup for this one, well, we've got Antonio Lindback coming out in red off gate number 1, 8 points so far, the co-leader after 3 rides apiece. In blue off gate number 2, it is Stefan Andersson, and he's on 4 points so far. Great shot there, close up of Antonio Lindback. Seems to have the Speedway well at his feet, it must be said. Certainly is an amazing story. Born in Brazil, adopted by a Swedish couple, brought over when he was 3 years of age, and well, his mother took him to a Speedway training centre when he was about 10 years old, and he hasn't looked back since. Stefan Andersson comes out in blue, in white. We've got Kenneth Bier, he's only on 4 points so far. Thomas Szynovsky's in yellow and black. Szynovsky it is, who's made a good start, but Lindbacker's with him on the inside. Here comes Szynovsky around the outside, and he's found a way past Lindback into first spot. And well, this could put the pole on to 7 points and give him a good chance of qualification. Kenneth Bier, he's back in third place. And well, that would put him on 5 points, and he needs something out of his final ride. And the rider in blue, that is Stefan Andersson. He's at the back of Andersson, but now he's come past Pierre into third place and seems to have a good ride and then a bad ride. As Chevanovsky, well, he still leads the way. He's had a second place and a couple of thirds so far. It looks like he's going to defeat Antonio Lindback here and move on to 7 points. Lindback is going to put him on 10. So he's definitely through to the semi-finals, no doubt about that whatsoever. Szynovsky, this is going to give him chances though. He's going to get a fine win over Antonio Lindback in second place. Third spot, well, that goes to the rider in blue, Stefan Andersson, getting the better of Kenneth Bier, who remains on 4. He's struggling to make it through to the semis. Szynovsky, we can see here, and Lindback, we've just got some lift coming out of the second bend. They just slowed him sufficiently for the young Pole to come through into first place. That is where he remained. He picks up the victory, and so he's still in with an excellent chance of qualification into the semis. He's moved on to 7 points, and 1 more point should do it for him. As we get ready for heat number 16, we've certainly seen plenty of incident here this evening in this 2004 World Championship Grand Final. Word is that this may well be the last ever qualification way that riders get into the Grand Prix series. It may all be from the qualification from the previous year. Grand Prix standings, the top 8, and well, I understand it could be a wild card from each meeting, and up to 5 seeded riders from next year. That's 2005, this is 2004. The lineup for heat number 16, no Craig Watson in red, he's withdrawn from the meeting. Bad luck for Craig, the Australian, suffering from the flu. Martin Rempauer, he comes out in blue. He's on 4 points. In white, it is Hans Andersen. He's on 8. Yellow and black sees Niels Christian Nielsen. He's on 4. He needs something big in this one. Into that first turning where it's Hans Andersen off gate number 3 who leads the way. We haven't seen too many race wins in the white helmet colour. In fact, well, he's not leading now. It's Rempauer who's come through into first place for Andersen. It looks like he's just got the speed. Rempauer. Well, it's a close race this in heat number 16, and it is Hans Andersen who leads the way. Then this could move him on to 11 points. And we're looking down the score chart. The previous heats, we've not had a race winner in off gate number 3, so this is a fine effort by Andersen. He leads the way from Martin Rempauer in second place. If he stays there, this will put him on 6 points, and the pole will here also have a good chance of qualification. And Andersen, we know he's going to be there. Everson, well, only a third spot at the moment. This will put him on 5. It really is tightening up to see who's going to qualify for the semi-finals. As Hans Andersen, well, we know he's going to be there. He wins heat number 16, second place. That goes to Martin Rempauer. Third spot goes to the rider in yellow and black. That's Niels Christian Nielsen. We can see again out of the start here. And Hans Andersen, we made a good gate, but Rempauer, well, he gets a good run out of the second bend, and he comes up on the inside of Andersen, but Andersen, he rode mid-track and just had enough speed to move back into first place, and that's where he stayed. That's his third win of the meeting, and you can see just how much it means to him. He's very, very pumped up indeed. He's made it through. He's desperate to get through to the Grand Prix Series for 2005, and he's certainly looking at very good at the moment. He's on 11 points. That's the top qualifier. There he is with one of the Danish Speedway representatives. He's 1 point in front of Antonio Lindback. And Antonio, where he's a couple in front of Belinsky and Pavazny. Everson, we just got a look at him. There is Rempauer. He's got work to do in his final race if he wishes to qualify. So it's very, very tight after the
Czech Republic star Bo Brel.
Glenn.
An important last win for you then. A bit of a controversial heat, but you came out and won the rerun, and you're in with a good chance of making the last 8 now.
Yeah, actually the problems what the Czech doing for everyone, and the last hit a little bit helped me, so I was a little bit lucky for that. But I cannot be happy with the preparation of the track and all the things which going on. They cancelled the practice. We was waiting for the power for the lights, and the track is no good. For meeting like that one, I think the track should be prepare much better.
Well, you made it through in this meeting in Pila 2 years ago, and you've got to try and do it again tonight.
Yeah, I did last year in Pool and 2 years ago in Pila, so I try, but this, like I said, it's very, very difficult today. So I think the most important is stay free of injury, and that'll be good for me.
Okay, Bo, we're on 2 minutes, so good luck, and we'll catch you later on.
Thank you.
Well, we certainly are. We've made it to the start line as we get ready for heat number 17, then the last round for these competitors. It's all going to happen in these last 4 races, I'm sure. Heat number 17 with Ronnie Pedersen. It hasn't happened for him. He's only on 3 points. He's not going to qualify. In blue, it is Damien Belinsky. He's on 8 points, so he's almost assured of a semi-final place. Looking at the scores so far, I think he's already there. In white, Niels Christian Everson. He's only on 5. He needs a victory. Kenneth Pierre was so did he. He's on 4 points. And Pierre's made an absolutely fantastic start. Gate number 4. And with the Dane, this will put him on 7 points. He can stay out in front. Well, we have to wait and see what happens in the other races series. It's going to be enough for him. But Pierre leads the way at the moment from Belinsky in second place. In third spot, it's very tight indeed between Ronnie Pedersen, who's got very close. In fact, Pedersen, well, he's gone to the back there because Everson has come through in a third place. That got very tight indeed at the end of lap number 1. Not for Pierre though, as he leads the way pretty comfortably. The riders, they are lifting in, coming out the bends, and mid-corners, start of the corners, really is very tough conditions. Bo Brel, he's far from happy with the track conditions, as he's saying to Glenn there in that interview. He's still in with a chance. It's getting very tight behind Kenneth Pierre. Still Belinsky holding off at Everson at the moment. Everson, he's doing all he can to find a way back past, but the pole, it looks like he's got the speed to keep Niels behind him. Meanwhile, the other Dane in the race. Kenneth Pierre looks like he's going to finish with a victory. He started with one in his first ride and he finished with one in heat number 17, and that really was a great start by him off gate number 4. He came across the lead. Watch here as Belinsky came through in the second place. Ronnie Pedersen was in third before Everson found a way past on the inside. It really was very, very tight indeed. Belinsky, well, look how tight that was between those three riders as Pedersen loses out. And well, that's the end of his meeting. He finishes on 3 points, so he's not going to qualify. Everson, well, he finished on 6. I don't think he will either. Belinsky finishes on 10, he's definitely through. And Kenneth Pierre, well, he finished on 7 points. And we've had a couple of race wins, so that could prove crucial. We'll have to wait and see what happens over the last 3 heats as we move on to heat number 18. Only 3 riders in this one. No Craig Watson, so he's pulled out of the meeting. In blue, we've got David Norris. A big race this for David. He's on 6 points. He needs at least a second place to be assured of a spot in that semis. In white, we've got Peter Coulson, where he's also on 6 points. He's another rider who needs at least a second place. Antonio Limbach, well, he comes out off gate number 4. We know that Antonio is already there. He's on 10 points. So this is a crucial heat. Ideally, it would be David Norris or Peter Coulson to win the race. The other one to come second, Limbach in third. That would mean all 3 would make it through to the semis, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm sure Antonio will be wanting to go out with another victory here in heat number 18. Peter Coulson, well, he's had a couple of wins and a couple of pretty disastrous rides. Heat 18 up by the tapes and into that first bend. Well, it is Peter Coulson who's made a good start. Antonio Limbach has gone with him. David Norris has not made a good gate at all, and he's back in third place. And well, this could see the end of David's chances of making it through to the semi-finals and hence the Grand Prix series for next year. A lap gone. Peter Coulson it is who leads the way, showing his class here in his final qualifying race. He leads the way from Limbach in second place. He can be quite content to stay there. The 2 Swedes, of course, against the Englishman, and well, it's not working out for the Brit in this one because it is Peter Coulson and Antonio Limbach who are in first and second. David Norris in third place, and I think that could be the end of his chances. And well, what bad luck it has been for him. It really can't be emphasised enough just how unfortunate he has been to be a victim of circumstances, if you like. As Peter Coulson, well, he's booked his place in the semis with his 3rd victory. He wins it. Limbach finishes in second, and we're desperately disappointed. David Norris only picks up a point in third, and I don't think that's going to be enough. We're going to have to wait and see how the last 2 races go, but it's very, very tough. It's going to be very tough for Peter Coulson. Well, he is most definitely there. Antonio Limbach as well. And it all comes down to these final 2 races as we move on to heat number 19 then. And the lineup for this one, well, in red we've got Stefan Andersson. He's on 5 points so far, so he's still in with a chance. In blue it is Václav Jaguš. He's on 4 points, so wow, a win for him. Might be good enough, have to wait and see. Although somehow I doubt it. In white, it is Roman Vlasny, he's already there, he's on 8 points. And in yellow and black, Martin Rempauer, he's on 6 points, so he's certainly got chances of qualification. Still absolutely everything to race for them, for these 4 riders in heat number 19. As the race gets underway, and who's it was going to lead going to that first bend where the rider in red has made a good start. That is Stefan Andersson. He leads the way, and suddenly coming to life. He's had a couple of second places, a last and a third, and he's on 5 points, but he could be getting a win in heat number 19, and this would cement his place in the semi-finals. Roman Vlasny is in second, and that would be good enough for 10 points, although he almost run into the back of Ando there. In third place it is Rempauer, and that would put him on 7 points, and so I don't think that's quite going to be enough for him. With Jaguš, well, he's retired in this one, machinery problems he's had this evening, and he's out of the race, but Stefan Andersson, he leads the way, and so this will put him on 8 points, and it looks like that would just be enough to make it through to the semi-final stage. A lap to go, and coming to life at the end of the meeting. He's going to take his first victory of the night. Vlasny not that far behind, but he settles for second place, a couple of bike lengths behind. Third spot goes to Rempauer. He's on 7 points, the same as David Norris and Kenneth Pierre. And we'll have to wait and see what happens to Bo Brahel. He's out in the last race. He's on 7 points as well. So it really is very tight indeed. Thomas Janowski, he's also on 7 points. It really is going to go right down to the last heat. And Anderson, well, it looks like it's going to be 7 points. It's going to be the one that, looking down at the score chart, looks like, well, it's all going to come down to this final race. Let's see what happens. Thomas Janowski, he comes out in red. He's on 7 points. He needs at least a point. He will be through. In blue, we've got Nicholas Klingberg. He's on 5 points, so he's still in with a chance. Absolutely anything could happen in this final race. In white, we've got Clemel Brahel, so he's on 7 points, so he's also needs just 1 point to make it through to the semis. And in yellow and black, we've got Hans Andersen, who's most definitely through. He's on 11 points. So the final qualifying heat gets underway, and into that first bend where Janowski has made a good start, but so's the rider in yellow and black. That is Hans Andersen. He's coming around the outside to lead the way. Brahel. Klingberg now, he's got in the thick of the action. Brahel is at the back. Here comes Brahel now, he's moved through in the second place. Janowski is in last place, he could be missing out. But here's Hans Andersen who's out in first place. Brahel has moved through into second with Klingberg. Here comes Janowski on the inside of Klingberg. It really is getting very, very tight indeed. Andersen is going to go through, we know that. Klingberg, well now he's coming up on the inside, but Janowski comes through in the second place. Bo Brahel, he's gone from second to last on that one bend, and that could scupper his chances of a semi-final spot. Really was an exciting heat number 20. As Hans Andersen, well, he's going to take the victory. Janowski is in second place ahead of Klingberg, and that's not going to be enough for the late replacement for Sebastian Ulemek, but Janowski was second place here, put him on 9. That's going to see him through, and it could be Bo Brahel who misses out. Having been in a comfortable position in this race, he finishes at the back, and that could certainly put pay to his chances. Hans Andersen, he wins it, he finishes top of the qualifiers. The Danish fans are delighted. We've got to take another look at some of the action in that final qualifying heat. As you can see here, Janowski, well, he went in practically every position in this race. Look at Nicholas Klingberg coming from the inside. He knew he needed a second or a win really in this race, but he then drops back because Bo Brahel comes through into second place. It really was a great move by the Czech rider, but then Janowski, where he gets back in on the action. Hans Andersen was takes victory, or takes victory even for him, but then Brahel, well, he logs up and Janowski takes advantage, comes through into second spot, and Hans Andersen, where he gets the win. He finished on 14. In second place, Janowski finishes on 9. He's qualified. Third place, Klingberg, he misses out, and Bo Brahel, where he finished on 7. There's 7 qualifiers are on 8 points or more. There's 4 on 7 points. David Norris, Martin Rempauer, Kenneth Bier, and Bohemil Brahel, and Janowski, well, he's made it through on those 9 points, and where it's a case of the officials working out exactly who are going to qualify. Antonio Lindback, well, he's certainly looking pretty cool, isn't he? Listening, trying to keep everything away from him, just so keep his concentration going, all distractions. And Kenneth Bier, we understand, in fact it may well be him who's gone through. Peter Carlson, where he's made it through those 3 wins with a couple of laughs. There is Rempauer, if it goes on race wins, which we understand it does. I'm afraid it could be the end for David Norris, as Janowski, where he's getting ready for the semi-finals. We understand, in fact, it is Kenneth Bier who's gone through on 7 points because he's had 2 race wins, and so that's desperate disappointment for David Norris, but a reprieve for Bier, who hasn't really ridden to his potential. He's had a couple of victories. Hans Andersen most certainly has. Roman Vavasny, where he's going to be in the semi-final. We're smiling from Roman. He's in the second semi. David Norris, well, it really is desperate bad luck. We've said it before, but so it really was dreadful luck for him. And if you was there, Neville Tate with Dave Fairbrother, Speedway star, as they work on the track. They really have got some fantastic smart machinery here. So the riders, well, one or two not happy with conditions, but played us in the track yesterday. They really have worked miracles to get this meeting on. As we get ready for the semi-final then. Semi-final number 1, top 2 go through, and this is really where the nerves will be tingling. we've got Thomas Szynovsky. He comes out off gate number 1. He's in the red helmet colour. In blue off gate number 2, it is Stefan Andersson. A late wind saw him through into this stage of the meeting. In white off gate number 3 is Hans Andersson, who's looked mighty fine here this evening. And from the outside is Damon Belinsky. He's had his moments. He finished on 10 points in the qualifiers. Top 2 go through as the race gets underway, and Szynovsky from the inside has made a start. He looks across. Stefan Andersson made a dreadful gate. He's at the back, but Belinsky has come through into first place. Cutting between Szynovsky and Hans Andersson. Andersson only back in third place at 2 poles, but Belinsky, well, he's had engine failure. And well, he's absolutely disgusted with that, as you can tell. And with stumps on his handlebars, but his race is run. It is his fellow Polo Szynovsky who leads away from Hans Andersson in second place now. Stefan Andersson back in third. And well, Damon Belinsky's looking, checking his fuel tap. Surely they didn't not turn the fuel taps on. As Szynovsky, well, he's leading the way from Hans Andersson in second place. They look like being the 2 qualifiers. Stefan Andersson back in third, but a long distance behind. So drama in the first semi-final. Belinsky, well, you've got a feel for him. And well, would Hans Andersson have been out if Belinsky had continued? As Szynovsky, well, he wins it from Andersson in second place. And well, there is the unfortunate pole, and we've absolutely livid outbound. Well, it certainly looks as if the fuel taps perhaps were not turned on. Well, dear oh dear, that really is absolute disaster for Damien. I've got a feel for him. As Szynovsky, well, he makes it through with a victory. So does Hans Andersson. And well, not to have the fuel taps turned on, that really is inexcusable from Damien's team. As we get ready for the second semi-final. The crowd, no one's leaving the stadium, they're enthralled with this meeting. Second semi then, we've got Peter Coulson. He comes out in red off gate number 1. 3 wins, a couple of last. Off gate number 2, it is Antonio Lindback. He's looked quality here this evening. Roman Pavashny, he's off gate number 3. He's also looked very good. And Kenneth Pierre, well, he's struggled here this evening. He's had a couple of wins. It's just seen him get through to the semi-final stage by the skin of his teeth. As Antonio Lindback settles at the start line. Name your 2 riders from these 4. Any of these that could qualify. Which 2 will they be? Second semi, it's underway. And into that first spin, well, it is the rider in blue. That is Antonio Lindback, who's made a good start. He leads away from Kenneth Pierre, moving through in the second place. Peter Coulson, he's at the back. That's a big surprise. Would have thought perhaps he would have been the favourite to make it through from this semi, but he's not riding a good race. He's in last place. Roman Pavashny, he's in third, but it is the Swede leading the Dane at the moment. The Russian in third, the other Swede. Peter Coulson, he's in last place, but Lindback it is who looks like he's going to cement his place in the final as he leads at the end of lap number 2. Kenneth Pierre is in second place. Pavashny, well, he's gaining on the diminutive Dane as they go down the back straight for the 3rd time. But it's Pierre that leads the way. Pavashny giving chase. Lindback, where he looks like he's booked his place in the final. Here comes Pavashny on the inside of Kenneth Pierre. In fact, where he's come down. Kenneth Pierre has hit the fence, and that's a bad crash for the Dane. He's hit the fence there quite hard indeed. The race, well, it is continuing to a finish. The red lights have not come on as, well, in fact, they have now. The rider, well, he's down on the ground. Let's take another look at this one. You can see here Pavashny, he's making a move up the inside, and well, Pierre looks across. He didn't really give Pavashny too much room there, but then he was leading, so he had the right to take what line he wanted, really going into the bend. It was a racing incident, but Pavashny, well, take another look at this. He's coming very, very fast indeed. He looked like he had the speed to get past Pierre, but Pierre, well, then he shut the door slightly on him. He comes down, and well, the race, let's say, did continue till the conclusion, and Roman Pavashny, well, the white exclusion light has come on for him, and well, we understand the race, it has been awarded. I didn't think you could do that in an FIM race, but Mick Bates, well, obviously you can, because that's what decision he has made. And Antonio Lindback, he's gone through to the final, so is Kenneth Pierre, even though he's still on the ground. As Pavashny, well, he's desperate to have a few words with the referee. Mick Bates, Ollie Olsen, the GP director, of course, race director and owner of the Vojens circuit. He's up near the telephone as well. I'm around Roman. I don't think it's going to make too much difference, so it very rarely does. And well, I think the cheers there for Kenneth Bier. He's made it through to the final. Well, there he is. He's up on his feet, as you can see. Well, a bit of a nasty spill that was for him. He certainly went in pretty hard into that safety fence, but he's been awarded second place, and he will be through to the final if he's fit to do so. Peter Coulson, so he misses out again on a place in the GP series, as Roman Vovazny, well, I don't think there's a Russian team manager either, just as not a Team GP one. And David Norris having a few words with Roman. He knows exactly what it's like to be on the wrong end of a decision, or contentious decision that is. It really was a 50-50 one, as Kenneth Bier, when you say he's walking back, Jakob Olsen, the Danish team manager, Vovazny, well, it means so much to these riders, of course. He's not smiling now, is he?
Well, David, talk about so near yet so far. You must be gutted about that, mate, the decisions that went on out there tonight.
Yeah, the track was gnarly, and you know, one meeting a year, and it's just a bit disgraceful, but we're all racing on it fair and square, and you know, with no lighting, it's a joke. Well, I needed someone, I needed a team manager or someone just so that I could just don't let us go out. It was a joke. I mean, I've got 3 tear-offs, glasses, and I went out there, and all I can see is my own face in my goggles, and I mean, I haven't put a foot wrong till then all night, and I picked up, I'm off, and then they stopped the meeting. But they were going nowhere with it anyway. You was never going to get one more ride after that, and I'm pissed off, big style. I mean, I made a bad choice of my last ride gearing, and then we sussed out for the main event as such. We sussed out exactly where we're going. We were happy, and we didn't get in it. And I had 4 rides tonight.
Well, it's a long way to come to have a bad old decision like that. I mean, did the ref speak to you? Did you want to say anything or not?
Yeah, you know, it's a British ref. I mean, let's be a little bit corrupt if we have to, but he didn't. He could have just gone with a fair, straight down line decision, and you know, we just seen a Dane get put back in a race where he shouldn't have even been in a race anyway, because it should have been me. Then he's been passed, drops it, he's back in the rerun, and I'm not happy. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to say, you know, mention what have you. We've had too much of that so far, but you know, people, if they haven't seen the video, got their own eyes, and well, bad decisions. I wouldn't say anyone's corrupt. Bad decisions, you know, when they go against you, they're always bad, but you know, not happy really.
I think that says it all. Thanks for talking to us, David. Yeah, good luck, mate.
Well, David obviously very annoyed with the decisions, and well, it certainly made a lot of sense there to us. As we come on to the final then of the 2004 World Championship Grand Final. This is it. The top 2 riders will be through to next year's Grand Prix Series, and all that beckons. The lineup, we've got Antonio Lindback. He comes out of gate number 1. The young Swede who's had a phenomenal rise in the world of Speedway. There he is, just getting his gate position sorted out. Gate number 2, it sees Hans Andersen, another rider desperate to make it through the Grand Prix Series. Put all of these problems of the last week or so behind him. He's ridden very well tonight, it must be said. Off gate number 3, Kenneth Bier. Is he fortunate to be in this final? So you make your own decisions up from that. What David Norris said, you can see the video for yourself. And Thomas Shanovsky, he's done very well to make it through to this final. This is it, the big race. As the heat gets underway, Lindback's made a brilliant start from the inside. Shanovsky has as well. Off gate number 4, but it is Antonio Lindback, a fairy tale for him. He leads the way. Hans Andersen is chasing Shanovsky. Kenneth Bier is back in 3rd. But it's only the top 2 that go through. Lindback looks like he's there, and Andersen, well, he's come through in the 2nd place. Shanovsky, well, he's sent it off a little bit wide there by Andersen, and he's relegated to 3rd place. Kenneth Bier at the back. Antonio Lindback, it is that leads the way, but Andersen, well, he's slowing, as you can see, and well, that is desperate disappointment for the Dane. He's gone to the back, and he's got going again, but well, now machine has given up the ghost. It is Lindback who leads. Surely he's going to make it through to the Grand Prix Series, and Shanovsky is going to join him as well. Kenneth Bier is back in 3rd. He's just going to miss out. But well, what disappointment for Hans Andersen. And well, there he is on the centre screen, and well, just look at that. Oh dear, he really is absolutely gutted with that, and who can blame him? such disappointment for him as Antonio Lindback. Well, it's joy for the Swede. He wins the final. He's through to the series for next year. So is Thomas Shabanovsky. That's a big surprise. Hans Andersen, arguably the rider of the night. He falls at the final hurdle with machinery problems. But Antonio Lindback, congratulations to him. He's absolutely elated, and so he should be. What a week it's been for him. Well, Team Cup gold medal winner last weekend and through to the Grand Prix Series this weekend. What a fantastic 7 days it's been for the Swede. Thomas Shabanovsky, well, he's also through. Hans Andersen, you can see absolutely not even looking up and complaining for that. The joy and despair of Speedwayers. Andersen, well, down go the goggles, I think that was. But fantastic achievement by the 19-year-old. His team congratulating him and absolutely overjoyed. Shabanovsky, we've just seen him with the Polish flag going round on a lap of honour, and as Antonio, well, he's congratulated there by fellow Swede Stefan Andersen and Nicholas Klingberg, and Tony Olsen also, and Brian Andersen. Well, he's delighted for his young rider Ollie Olsen. He's also certainly going to be a great addition to the Grand Prix Series. What scenes! Philip Rising, managing editor of the Speedway Star, also there to offer his congratulations. As Shabanovsky, well, he received the bumps. It really was a great effort by the young Pole to come through. He only scored 8 points or 9 points in the qualification rounds, but he made it through. And he's going to join Thomas Golub in the Grand Prix Series next year. And his girlfriend there, we saw her before the meeting, and well, she's obviously overjoyed after. The Polish fans, something to celebrate. Many of them who made the journey here. And well, look at the beaming smile from her. And that really was a terrific effort by him. And Phil Rising, didn't take him long to get his interview, does it? Antonio Lindback, Grand Prix rider next year, and joined by Thomas Shabanovsky. Now well, Phil Rising's had a few words with Antonio. Now Dave Fairbrother offered his congratulations, and I think that could well be his parents. Great story.
Antonio,
let's join Ben.
Well, it's all come together at the end of the night, mate. You must be chuffed to bits.
I cannot speak. That is so great. I was on gate 1 there. I thought maybe I can come first or second, so it was just full gas and drop the clutch when the tape was going, so that was so fun.
Well, 2 pressure rides, a semi-final and then the final, and Hans Andersen had an engine failure and it was all happening, but you just kept your head on and off you went.
Yeah, it was. That is always so easy if you are in front, but I felt them. I felt Hans Andersen, and they're really good riders, so it was just to focus on my own and just go.
Well, World Cup winner, Grand Prix Challenge winner. It's been a good couple of days for you, Antonio.
Yeah, that's been a wonderful week for me, so I hope to keep it on to next week when I have the GP Gothenburg, so we'll see.
Okay, go on that first place, Antonio.
Yeah.
And well, congratulations to him. Of course, he's still got the European Under-19 Championship next weekend, and then the World Under-21 final weekend after that. What a month it's going to be for Antonio Lindback. Absolutely fantastic part of his life. He'll look back on this with great fondness in years to come. Kenneth Bier, well, he finishes in 3rd place. He rode his luck a little bit, but he's got his bouquet and his 3rd place trophy, but say not quite enough to make it through to the series. Thomas Shabanovsky, though, he most certainly does. He rode very well in the semi-final and the final. So he rode his luck a little bit with Hans Andersen's problems, but well, he's there, and I'm sure he's going to be a credit to his country next season. He finishes runner-up, but the winner, it is the Rocket from Rio. The Pool fans, a few of them made the journey here. They'll be absolutely delighted with what they've seen here this evening. Antonio Lindback it is, who is the 2004 World Championship Grand Final winner. Well done to him. And receiving his trophy. And well, Janowski, the chants up from the poles. And well, we've got a Swedish flag there as well. And the World Speedway press getting these pictures. Well, I think we're going to be waiting for the national anthem very shortly. As the photographers were still getting their pictures that will be appearing, of course, in the Speedway publications throughout Europe. Certainly the track conditions made racing very difficult, but it's led to plenty of incidents as we have the Swedish national anthem. And so very, very proud moment for the youngster. Of course, he heard that last Saturday as well down at Poole, and who's to say he won't in the next couple of weeks as well. The European Under-20, Under-19 Championship and the World Under-21 final as well in Poland. And well, Mike Patrick getting his pictures as the Poles celebrate, the Swedes celebrate as well. Fantastic moments here at Vojens. And well, let's join Glenn for some reactions.
Well, Poland's Tomasz Czerżanowski, we say congratulations, he must be absolutely delighted.
W związku z tym, że muszą Ci gratulować po tych wspaniałych zawodach, jesteś na pewno bardzo szczęśliwy.
No, jestem szczęśliwy, z eliminacji na eliminację chciało się czegoś więcej, przyjeżdżając dzisiaj zapowiadałem walkę i tą walkę dzisiaj stoczyłem do ostatnich chwil.
Of course, he's happy from elimination to elimination. He's starting to be more hungry about success, and today morning when he reached Vojens, he think about qualifying.
I mean, the track was very tricky tonight for all the riders, but they stuck in there and they all had many up and down rides, including Thomas, but a tense semi-final and a tense final, and he's won through at the end of the day.
Tor sprawiał wszystkim zawodnikom sporo kłopotów i właściwie mieliśmy tu wzloty, upadki, jakieś kłopoty na łuku. Czy Tobie też ten tor dał się mocno we znaki?
No, pierwsze biegi nie najlepiej, później zmiana regulacji, ustawienia motocykla i wszystko poszło w dobrym kierunku. Na pewno zabrakło trochę treningu wczorajszego.
He's sorry that he missed the practice session, which was cancelled because of the rain, and he chose the wrong setup on the first heat. That's why he got some problems with the track. But heat by heat, it's starting to be better, and it was enough to qualify.
And of course, now into the Grand Prix series next year. Big plans for Thomas. Do you think he'll get the necessary backup to help him in the series?
Czy sądzisz, że w tej chwili, kiedy już jesteś zawodnikiem Grand Prix, znajdziesz potrzebne wsparcie, żeby się przygotować należycie do startów?
No, mając w klubie takiego sponsora, jakim jest grupa Lotos, na pewno liczę na ich pomoc i zima jest długa, zobaczymy.
It will be a long winter, and he thinks that he's got a real good sponsor in his Polish club, so probably he will be prepared as good as it's possible.
Okay, thank you, Jarek, and thank you, Thomas. Well done.
Thank you very much.
One sec.
Well, one rider I'm sure will be especially disappointed tonight because, as you've touched on there, you actually came top in the normal heats, but then it all went wrong in the semi-final hands. You must be gutted. Final.
Gutted, I would say, is probably not the word for it. But yes, it's a bit hard to take at the moment. I would have been disappointed if it would have been myself letting me down. But today, really, the problem was machinery problems, and that's a bit hard to take, really.
I mean, yeah, you hit it on the head there. You look quick, you look comfortable. I know the track was difficult for everybody, but you were sailing pretty. You only dropped a point to Lindback, I think, was it? I mean, and like you say, mechanical. There's nothing you can do about that, is there?
Not really, and without, I think if you look at the meeting from a perspective point of view, I think there's a class different riders in it today. People would have noticed, like, the track was difficult, but some riders just out of different class. So hopefully that would come into their opinion when the permanent wildcards are given.
Well, I'm sure they will, because they're looking for exciting young riders like yourself to be in it. So, I mean, that must give you a bit of confidence that should happen. Fingers crossed.
They gave me one last year. I know it's a bit hard maybe to get it the second year, but you never know. I think my luck today was that no other Dane qualified. And hopefully they'll look into the papers that actually won the meeting today and went in the final. And because I think it's put me in a worse position if I actually just came last in the final. But today I pulled out with mechanical failure.
Well, I'm sure they'll bear that in mind. They ought to. I know you're gutty, but thanks for talking to us, Hans, and commiserations.
Okay.
Well, from one disappointed Dane, Hans Andersen, to another, Kenneth Pierre. It was close all the way through, Kenneth, wasn't it? I mean, the track was difficult, as we know. You won your last ride to give you 7 points, which just got you into the semi-finals, and so near yet so far.
The problem for me today was I never got anything to work. I was 3 times on gate 3, and that didn't work today, the gate 3, and in the semi-final I went on gate 4, and then I went through, and the final is tough because there's 4 good riders there, and he just got me there. So.
I mean, sometimes it can work. You might struggle just to get in, and then you can go on and be successful. But of course, you had a crash with Roman Pavazny as well. I mean, that must have banged you about a little bit.
Just my head got a bit headache now, but it was okay. I didn't feel anything when I was riding, but it's just when I went off and everything, you know. So it's okay, yeah.
I mean, the track generally, was it as you thought it was going to be tonight? I know it was difficult all the way through, but did you think the surface might be different?
I thought the track would be good today. But there was too many holes in, and it was really hard to ride at. If you didn't go on the inside, you were last, and it's hard. We need to make the start.
I know it's disappointing, but you've got many years left yet, Kenneth, so best of luck next time, and thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, no problem.
Well, what a dramatic finale here in Vojens tonight. Plenty of Poles and Swedes out there celebrating the success of Tomasz Herzenowski and, of course, Antonio Lindback coming through. Hans Andersen's dramatic engine failure at the end cost him, but it's Antonio Lindback and Tomasz Herzenowski who will go through to next year's Grand Prix Series. Good night from Vojens.